This video is powered by Dr. Cinik, one of the world's leading hair transplant centres and a top choice among football superstars. Scan the QR code on the screen or click the link below for your free consultation. I'm even thinking about getting it done myself.
Well, Frank, you look a bit downcast. Is it a case of so near but yet so far? Or should we be on the more positive side of things and say, listen, man, the guys were brave, they were disciplined, and they put absolutely everything into that performance?
I think you've hit the nail on the head there. So near, yet so far. I want to preface everything I'm about to say by saying I'm immensely proud of this Arsenal team today. You know, to show the resilience when essentially everything went against us, it shows you how far we have come as a team to get to this point where we're not in a situation where we're losing 5s and 6-0 at the Etihad anymore. We've gone well past the team that lost 6-0 to Chelsea, well past the team that lost 8-2 to Manchester United. We are an established title challenging team, and I think today sums that up more than anything. I'm immensely proud of the boys.
No, I think that's a sentiment that's been repeated over and over, and certainly online I've seen that as the overriding theme. But listen, you know what, I'm going to get to it, man. I think you know where I'm going with this. I've asked the others, and obviously I'm very keen to hear your thoughts. The Trossard sending off obviously changed the game, but what I want to know from you is, was it a justified sending off?
Yeah. Yes, it was. You look at the 2 yellow cards individually. He gets the first yellow card for the pulling of a shirt, and he gets a second yellow card for, you know, delaying the restart and kicking the ball away. I'm a massive admirer of Leandro Trossard, but you learn this stuff at under 5s. It's a silly reason to get sent off, but the problem I've got with that is the second yellow card. Michael Oliver, I believe that was the referee, sets the precedent for kicking the ball away the second Doku does it, I think 9 minutes into the game. So if that's how he's going to be, the problem that I've got with this today is the consistency, and it's the same story. Game after game after game after game after game. Consistency. I'm not trying to say that Leandro Trossard shouldn't have been sent off. Both bookings are silly. And we'll probably even go as far to say pathetic. That he should not be getting booked for either of those things as a professional footballer. But the fact that Doku hasn't been given the yellow card, and I'm not even saying Doku should have been sent off. You set the precedent by not booking Doku for kicking the ball away, yet you want to do something completely different when it's an Arsenal player, when it's Leandro Trossard. This is the same referee that didn't send Kovacic off that time when he basically tried to break someone's ankles the last time he played against us. I'm noticing a pattern in the refereeing standards, which is no surprise to anyone. And I'm noticing a pattern now of Michael Oliver. This is the same guy that's been sent to whatever league, whatever country it is that the Manchester, I think, are they Qatari? Yeah. This is the same official that's been paid by the Qatari Man City owners to officiate games out there. There is something not right. It's unacceptable at this level of the game. I expect that at my level, you know, 13 divisions down. But when you are paid a silly amount of money to officiate games, the levels need to be higher across everywhere, not just Arsenal. We've seen it all of the time across different games, especially this season. They're trying to set a precedent. However, it just seems to be that whenever they're trying to make an example of something, it seems to always be Arsenal. It's not acceptable. Yeah,
listen, you make a good point about the consistency, and that's a point that's been made by the people who preceded you on the fan cams today. Both James and Lee made similar points. Okay, so let's go back to something a bit more positive, and it's the way Arsenal defended in that second half. Actually, you know what? Let's give some credit to the goal scorers before we go. Calafiore, what a strike. I mean, we went a goal down. After 8 minutes, I must admit, I was a little bit worried the way we got opened up there. Brilliant finish by Haaland. That man, again, I think he's got something like 100 goals in 109 games or something.
105 games.
105 games, yeah. So he's phenomenal. Yep. And so when that goes in, as an Arsenal fan, you're thinking, oh my gosh. Yep. You know what I mean? They've scored in less than 10 minutes. To be fair, Calafiore kind of got upended for the goal. Yep. Comes back with a brilliant strike on the 22nd minute. And, you know, I was so pleased for him. You saw the way he celebrated that. That was a really nice moment for him and for Arsenal. And then we go in front just before half time. Gabriel header, similar to the goal he scored against Tottenham, although there was a opportunity similar to that he'd missed just moments before. So we're in great shape, 2-1 up. you're thinking, wow, this could be our day. The first time we're going to beat City since 2015. And then we get that sending off, as we spoke about. We're not going to go there again. But the second half, talk to me about the bravery, the guts and the discipline that those guys showed in the second half to keep City out, who, let's be honest, are probably the best attacking team in the Premiership, one of the best in Europe, one of the best in the world. To keep them out for that length of time. Tell me about it.
Well, like I said already, you know, especially for that second half, immensely proud of the boys. And I know I seem a bit downhearted. I'm not taking. I don't want to take a fact away from the fact that even before the game, I would have said this was an amazing point. It is still an amazing point, and certainly a point gained, more than 2 points dropped. I keep saying it. I said it last season. I said it the season before that. Any team that is going to the Etihad, whether you're Real Madrid or Rotherham, any team that goes to the Etihad, if you get a point at the Etihad, you are happy. So in that sense, I'm still happy. It's just such a shame that we've come here, played so well and defended so well. I would actually go as far to say, minus the 2 goals, of course, and I know this is going to sound silly given that they scored the 2 goals. That's one of the best defensive performances I've seen in Premier League history. And I would agree. I would genuinely go that far, because we've come so far defensively. But long are the days of Kolasinac and Mustafi and Koscielny, well, later years Koscielny. We've got possibly the best back four in world football, and today that showed. You talk about Calafiori, talk about chucking someone in the deep end, his first start for the club, and what a fantastic goal it was. I likened it to the Saliba's first goal against Bournemouth that time, but obviously I think this one's even better in the sense that, you know, the opponent, the occasion.
Oh, it was an amazing goal. And if you look at it again, he actually turns away to celebrate before the ball hits the net. You know, that's how well struck it was.
This is one of them things. You know, sometimes as a player, you know how well the ball's been struck. You know it's going in. You're waiting for the inevitable in that sense. And then on the topic of goals, Gabriel's done it again. I think that's 17, 18 goals as an Arsenal player. I think about 88% of those are from corners specifically. And he almost looks unstoppable in that box. I know he missed the earlier one, but I think they showed a replay of it on the TV. The earlier one that he missed and the one that he scored second, identical. So, like, you know what he's going to do, and you cannot stop it.
Yeah, you make a good point. You know why? Because the first one of the two, he was being marked by Docker, which I thought was a bit strange. You've got Docker who's about 5'8", 9", marking a guy that's like 6'3", 4".
Yeah.
But for the second one, they put... Who else? Who did they put on him?
It was Kyle Walker.
Yeah, that's right, Kyle Walker. Yeah, that's right. I said they're trying to play tag. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he obviously got distracted, and my man just barged him out of the way and went through and scored.
It reminds me of that Thanos meme where it's like, I am inevitable. That's what Gabriel is at this point. And do you know what? Just on the topic of that, the Kyle Walker stuff, and I want to mention it. I know I sound bitter saying this, but there's certain players on that Manchester City team that should be ashamed of themselves after today. First of all, I'm going to start with Rodri. Obviously, get well soon. I don't wish that on anyone. But to set the tone of the game, trying to, you know, essentially bully Kai Havertz to start off with, trying to get in front of him. Kai Havertz wasn't having none of it. So that's the first thing. But again, like I said, get well soon, Rodri. We wish you the best. No one wants to see that. The Haaland one for me is disgraceful. Well, after they get the equaliser for the second goal, Haaland proceeds to throw the ball into the back of Gabriel's head, which was surprisingly missed. Shock. You know, there's a certain level of respect that you have to have as a professional footballer, and that is even worse when you get to the Miles Lewis-Skelly incident. Haaland was once upon a time that 17-year-old kid that was making his debut. To go out on that pitch and make the comments that he does about Miles Lewis-Skelly in terms of like who they are for you, is disgraceful. It's not acceptable.
I think that's an indication of how rattled City were today.
Absolutely.
But let me just end on a, well, I'm going to leave it to you. At the start of the week, we had these 3 difficult games, away to Tottenham, away to Atalanta, and away to City. 1 win and 2 draws. Give me your very quick assessment of the week and how it's been. And do you think Arsenal can now go on and really do something big this season?
I think it's a positive week. I know people are going to be surprised by me saying that, obviously because we've got only 1 win, and I know it's 2 draws, but you look at the draws, and I still think they're fairly positive. I'm slightly disappointed about the Atalanta one, because whether it's home or away, it's maybe a team that we should be beating, but, you know, a point away is always it's usually a decent thing, unless you're playing teams a lot lower down. Atalanta are no pushover. They were Europa League champions last year. They've got great players in the side like Ademola Lookman. They looked a good team. So in the grand scheme of things, it's only the first Champions League game. It's not like it's put us in a dangerous situation. We didn't lose. That's the way I look at it. And this one, again, no matter what team you are, getting a point at the Etihad is a fantastic result. And then I don't even really need to say anything that I haven't already said about the North London derby. North London's
so it seems to me that at the start of the week, preceding the 3 games, you would have taken in effect 5 points from the, what was it, 9?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think so. And obviously,
so it's a good week.
I think it's a good week because obviously I mentioned about what I did about Atalanta, because I did say obviously maybe a team that we should be beating, but given that we had Spurs and Manchester City, each side of those games, it wasn't really a game that we were looking necessarily too focused on because we knew we had a bigger game coming up in Manchester City today. So that's why I'm not too disappointed about the Atalanta result. Getting a point against City is always a great thing. 5 points, I think we've done well.
Okay, nice to end it there. Well done, Frank.